Hello, my name is Matthew Jorgensen. I'm from the Australian Computer Society and I'm here today to talk about the online echo chamber. A little bit about me. I work on a Queensland State Government project, proudly funded and supported by the Queensland State Government, and I work to connect technology companies and schools so that schools, students and teachers can access that industry expertise. In the past, I've been a primary school teacher, a secondary digital technologies teacher, a Microsoft teacher ambassador. I've worked closely with AMF and the eSmart schools, and I've also been the director of e-learning at my previous school. Now today, I'm talking about the echo chamber, and specifically on the internet. Now, internet information can come from lots of different sources and perspectives. An echo chamber is a situation where a person, an organisation, or even a whole country is only hearing the same perspective or the same opinion. Now, this can lead to something called confirmation bias, which reinforces the information within the echo chamber. So, for example, on social media, a person only follows people who love the colour of purple. All of the content coming through their feed is positive about purple and negative about other colours. There are no posts saying good things about green, blue, orange, etc. So the person therefore only hears one side of the story and believes that purple is the only colour that deserves praise. Now, we all know that diversity is very important. We need to hear multiple points of view and empathise with people from different backgrounds. So, how can the internet distort our search for truth and facts? I'm going to go all the way back to search. So, a browser, that is internet software that you use to view web pages on your computer. A search engine is also internet software. It accesses a database of information based on the query that you type in. For example, purple. The first web browser was World Wide Web in 1990. And back then, Netscape Navigator cost $49 US. So you had to pay for your internet browsers. You don't pay today. They became free in 1998. Why are browsers free? Well, those free browsers are monetised and they do make money for the people who own them. They often use default search engines that are owned by the company that provides the browsers. This can encourage users to click on links and go to websites by listing results in prominent positions. They can also place ads on the search results page for impressions and clicks. Some companies pay other browsers to use their search engines by default. There are browsers, however, that don't use your search history. Search engine optimization, or SEO. SEO is the method of increasing traffic, quality and quantity, to a website through what's called organic results. Visitors come to a website for the products and services that it provides. Sites want as many visitors as possible. Organic traffic is visitors that the site doesn't have to pay to visit. Companies use SEO to ensure that their site is prominent in search engine results pages, or SERPs. So to do this, they use descriptive keywords that reflects the site's purpose. They use HTML tags, URLs and hyperlinks. They've got well-organised website pages with titles, etc. They name their assets like the images, and they use analytics and AdWords tracking. Search algorithms. There are hundreds of billions of web pages on the internet. Search engines rank the information on the internet. This is done to ensure the quality of search results. When you do a search, you just don't want any web page to come up. You don't want a web page made by a 10-year-old. You want a web page made by a company or organisation that has lots and lots of expertise. A user types a search term in the search engine, and this is called a query. Search algorithms consider many elements: the words in the query, the relevance of the pages, source expertise, your location, and your settings. Now, it looks at your location because it wants to find results, in some cases, that are local to where you live. Some search engines can build a profile of users based on their search and internet use history. Bots. Bots, or web robots, spiders or crawlers, are non-human traffic that visits a website. They crawl the internet for content, looking at the URLs. They download and index, store, the content for easier access in the future. Search engines then rank the content from good to bad based on search queries. The way bots work means that the SEO is important to get websites found during searches. Some bots are bad. For example, spam bots make spam comments, phishing and scraping information from websites. Click bots often do a lot of spamming on websites. Imposter bots. They replicate humans and cause security problems. Scraper bots steal content. Spy bots steal data. Free email accounts. Why are email accounts free? Some companies provide browsers and free email. In the past, and maybe even now, some companies scan the free email account. They then post ads in the online email app or websites that were visited based on the content of your emails. Third-party organisations can be given access to scan your emails. This is highlighted when a user accepts the conditions of the app. Have you ever noticed on web pages you see ads selling products that were listed or maybe talked about in your emails? I certainly have. Artificial intelligence, or AI. In the past, some SEO providers used different dodgy techniques to ensure great SERP outcomes. Now, this meant that search engine results didn't always show the highest quality lists. Artificial intelligence can protect search engines from manipulation and assist search engines with ranking algorithms. Search engines can adopt machine learning to improve ranking algorithms. Machines are taught to provide the best outcomes, learning from each search. For example, a search result is ranked third on the list. 1, 2, 3. It has a higher click-through rate than the options above. The AI learns from this irregularity. It bumps that result to the top. AI also uses natural language processing, or NLP, to help computers understand our written language. So you can see that artificial intelligence is being used on the internet, maybe behind the scenes, to help improve search results so that you access the data, the information that you really need to access. Cookies. Now, I'm sure you've seen the word cookies appear when you're doing an internet search or accessing websites. They're not real cookies that you eat or that you might bake. So what are cookies? A cookie is a packet of data that a computer receives and then sends back without changing or altering. Cookies include HTTP, web, internet, or browser cookies. When you visit a website, the website sends the cookie to your computer. Your computer stores it in a file located inside your web browser. This helps the website keep track of your activity. Now, people can argue there's positives and negatives to cookies. One positive is that it keeps records and data like shopping carts or settings, so that when you go back to that website, the website and the computer, combined with the cookies, can remember the way that you like that website, or they can remember that you've actually got something sitting in the shopping cart. Now, some people can argue about the negatives too. Bad actors, or nasty people, criminals, can track you for easy identification of internet use. Good websites alert you about cookies, often only the first time, because cookies recognise that you have been there before. So in the top right-hand corner of this slide, you can see a little window that popped up when I visited a website, giving me the conditions of the website and some privacy information. When I go back to the website, that won't show again because the cookies help the website know that I've been there before and therefore I've seen that particular message. Now, cookies can make it faster to use websites that you visit often. Retargeting ads. Now, in case you haven't worked it out, a lot of stuff is free, not only on the internet, but also on your phone, apps and so on, because it is monetized through advertisements or ads. Okay, that's how these producers, these companies make money. Yes, they're giving you something for free, but they are getting something in return, and that is ad revenue. So I'm going to look at something that you probably have not heard of. It's called retargeting. Retargeting ads are paid advertisements targeting users who have already visited a website. Often these visitors have interacted with products or services, like adding a product to the shopping cart. This process uses cookies. Now, there's also something called pixel-based retargeting. A tracking pixel, now a pixel is a little tiny square that makes up the screen. There's millions of them on a screen. But the higher the definition, the more of those tiny little square pixels. A tracking pixel is a piece of code installed on a website. The pixel releases an unnamed browser cookie that keeps a track on what the user views on the website. When the user leaves, the cookie tells the ad networks to provide specific ads to the user. So you can see that you are being tracked when you're visiting websites, and that is all to do with advertising. Filter bubbles. What is a filter bubble? Now, this term was first used by Eli Pariser in 2011 in the book The Filter Bubble: What the Internet is Hiding from You. Some websites, apps and search engines can use algorithms to be selective. These apps assume the information a user would want to see based on click behaviour, browsing history, search history, location. For example, when suggesting new people to follow on social media based on who you already follow. So if you already follow someone who is very famous at riding motorbikes and all of these other famous motorbike riders, maybe the suggestions from your app will be only motorbike riders or people who are sort of related to that. Showing ads on websites that are curated for you based on previous interactions. Placing search results in different orders for two different people based on previous search history. And also, maybe showing different search results based on a user's location. So if I'm based here on the Gold Coast and searching for something, and someone's based over in England, London, searching for something, the results may be different based on where we're searching from, because it's a different local context. So, this talk is all about echo chambers. What I've tried to do up to this point is show you all the different things that are going on behind the scenes on the internet that might be giving you information and data that contributes to an echo chamber, or giving you information and data that might not exactly be what you're looking for. So let's have a look at recognising echo chambers. It can be tricky to recognise an echo chamber, especially if you find yourself in one. How can you determine if you are in an echo chamber? You can ask yourself, am I only seeing or hearing one side of a topic? Is the information based on fact or rumours, or even opinions? Here are some things to remember to stay out of echo chambers. check multiple reputable news sources. So check the mainstream news sources and multiple mainstream news sources. Discuss topics with people who hold different perspectives. So that's totally against what an echo chamber is. You might be comfortable in an echo chamber because you're hearing all of these things that you like to hear anyway. It is good to have discussions with people who think differently because they've got a different background or a different point of view to get their side of the story. They might be able to give you some facts and information that you haven't considered or don't know about. Clarify your thoughts through facts, patience, and respect. Remember that just because you want something to be true doesn't make it so. Don't believe everything you see or hear, especially on the internet. Call to action. What should you do after this presentation? What can you do to really internalise the things that I've shared with you today to make your life better? Let's have a look. Number one, try to engage with people from diverse backgrounds to understand different points of view. Okay, if you only hear from the same people all the time, you can tend to just agree with each other. You need to challenge thoughts. Okay, you need to be able to listen to other people, respect what they're saying. You can debate it and discuss it if you like, but if you just hear the same thing all the time from the same people, you're really not growing and you're really not learning. Number two, be discerning. Don't believe everything you see or hear just because it is on the internet. When the internet first began many years ago, it was only those web developers, the people who could build websites using website building software like Dreamweaver, who could put stuff on the internet. You had to be special and trained to create really great professional looking websites. Nowadays you can use tools like WordPress and Wix to create websites that look professional. So people can use those tools and put stuff on the internet and make it look like it's real information, but maybe they're just trying to trick you. So be discerning. Number three, digital literacy is important. Search for truth from multiple sources and communicate honestly. So thank you very much for listening to my presentation. I hope you've heard and learnt some things about echo chambers and how the internet works that you may not have known before, and hopefully you will now understand what an echo chamber is, and you'll have some strategies for making sure that you're getting all the information from different sides of a story.